It was a quiet evening at Rusty Jack's Roadhouse, the kind of rough-looking biker bar that outsiders whispered about but never dared to enter. Rows of motorcycles glistened beneath flickering neon lights, engines still crackling from long rides. Inside, the air smelled of gasoline, leather, and wood polish. The men and women gathered around their tables looked like they could break skulls for sport, covered in tattoos, vests heavy with metal patches, eyes hardened by years of living on the edge. It was a place where nobody cried, nobody begged, and nobody showed weakness. Until she walked in. The doors burst open with a violent crash against the wall and every head turned. Standing there trembling, breathless, her tiny hands wrapped around the straps of a faded pink backpack, was a little girl, barely 7 years old, mud smeared across her clothes, knees scraped raw, tears had dried in streaks across her face, but her eyes still shimmered with panic. For a moment the entire bar froze in absolute silence. The music cut, the laughter died, beer mugs hovered midair. No one spoke. No one even moved. And then, in a voice so small it felt like it shouldn't belong in a place so loud, she whispered the words that would change everything. "Please, someone help me. If you believe that kindness still exists in this world, if you believe that strength isn't about muscles but about protecting the innocent, then pause for just a moment. Hit like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Dailies, because stories like this prove that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear leather and ride Harleys." They didn't ask questions at first. They didn't need to. Instinct kicked in. The biggest biker in the room, a towering man with a gray beard and arms thick as tree trunks, stood up so fast his chair nearly snapped. Slowly, cautiously, he approached her like someone approaching a wounded animal. She recoiled at first, clutching her pink backpack tighter against her chest like a shield. Her breath came in short gasps. Her feet were bare. They could see the bruises now. They could see how badly she'd been running. Something or someone had been chasing her. The man knelt in front of her, lowering himself until his massive frame was eye level with hers. His voice, rough like gravel, softened into something almost unrecognizable. He didn't ask her name. He didn't ask what happened. He simply said, "You're safe now." And then she collapsed into his chest and burst into uncontrollable tears. That was all it took to turn a bar full of hardened bikers into silent weapons ready to be aimed at whoever had hurt her. Rage simmered beneath calm faces. Fists clenched beneath tables. Every single person in that room, no matter how broken their past, silently made the same vow. Whoever did this would never lay a hand on her again. They brought her inside properly, wrapping her in a leather jacket several sizes too big. Someone brought her water. Someone else brought her fries. She wouldn't speak at first. She just kept looking toward the door, flinching every time the wind rattled it. They noticed she wouldn't let go of her backpack. She held it so close it was as if her life depended on it. Nobody touched it. Until she finally whispered, barely audible, "He's coming." One of the bikers, a sharp-eyed woman named Rosa, knelt beside her. She asked gently, "Who?" The girl's lip trembled, her eyes filled with terror. "My stepdad." Outside, the sound of gravel crunching under tires snapped every head toward the door. A rusted pickup truck rolled into the lot. The engine cut. For a moment, everything went still. Then the door slammed shut, and a heavyset man stumbled out, face red with fury, eyes darting wildly as he screamed her name. Inside, the little girl froze. But before she could panic, the gray-bearded biker stood tall, placing a firm but gentle hand on her shoulder as if to say, "We've got this." The rest of the bikers stood with him, one by one, shoulder to shoulder, a wall of steel and leather and unbreakable resolve. The stepfather stormed toward the entrance, shouting curses, demanding they send the girl out. He claimed she was making up stories, claimed she was out of control, claimed he owned her. He didn't get 2 steps into the doorway before the bearded biker blocked his path, towering over him like a mountain. No words were spoken. They didn't need to be. The stepfather saw the look in their eyes, every one of them ready to tear him apart, and suddenly realized he just walked into the wrong battlefield. His strength came from fear, from towering over someone smaller, but now he was the small one. He backed away slowly. And that's when the little girl finally loosened her grip on her backpack. She opened it. Inside was proof. Not toys, not clothes, not snacks. Evidence. Hospital reports, photos, letters from neighbors who had tried to speak up, school notes no one had believed, all carefully folded and hidden away by tiny trembling hands because no one had listened before. Until now. What happened next would forever be told as legend at Rusty Jack's Roadhouse. The bikers made calls to people they trusted, to lawyers, to child services, to police officers who didn't turn a blind eye. This time her voice was finally heard, not because she screamed louder but because someone stood beside her and said, "We believe you." The stepfather was taken into custody by the end of the night. The little girl, she left the bar not as a victim but as family. They rode with her, forming a convoy of roaring engines under the moonlight, escorting her safely to a shelter where she would be loved and protected. They promised to visit every week. They brought her toys, books, a brand new backpack, still pink, but this time filled with love instead of fear. She never returned to her old house. She never saw the monster again. But she never forgot the night she walked into a place most people feared and found angels dressed in leather. If this story touched your heart, if you believe no child should ever suffer alone, then don't just watch. Do something. Hit like, share this story, and subscribe to Kindness Dailies so more people remember that heroes still exist. Before you go, tell me in the comments below. What would you have done if that little girl ran into your life? Your words might just inspire someone to stand up for what's right.